Hey guys, Marauder here with another collection update. This will cover everything from the previous update to August 23rd. So, everything I have bought between that period of time is sitting right here in front of me. Thought I'd show it off, show some of the neat things I got, talk a little bit about it. So here we go. One of the first things I got was I found some Genesis games. Actually, my friend Sandalphon, who works at a local Goodwill, found these for me and picked them up for me, and I paid them. But they are complete and boxed. The first is Eternal Champions for the Sega Genesis, obviously, and it's fully complete in the box. It's an okay fighting game. You know, came out around the same time as like the whole Street Fighter craze, Mortal Kombat, Primal Rage, that kind of thing. It's alright. It seems to have a video graphics problem in the lower couple of lines, but other than that, works fine. The next game is a copy of Vector Man, complete and boxed. I love this game, one of my personal favorites from way back when it came out. But I just love the hollow foil cover that it has. And obviously this is in the paper sleeve, so pull down, the game is in there with the manual behind it. The other game I got that's in a paper box, and actually one I'm very pleased to have, is the Sonic & Knuckles lock-on cart in the paper box. Again, complete. Very, very happy to have this one. When he told me he actually found this particular game, I was ecstatic. So, very pleased to add that to my collection. I'm getting into a lot more of the finding the boxed Genesis games than just buying loose carts, because I have a lot of loose carts, but it's always nice when you put them up on a shelf and they look like that. You know what I mean? So, that's always good. For the PlayStation 2, I picked up two games, and these were just kind of like spur-of-the-moment buys. One is a copy of Time Splitters. It's an okay first-person shooter. I think this one came out really early in the console's life cycle, and you know, it plays alright. Graphics are graphics are something else. They're quite lackluster, to be honest, but for a early launch title, it actually plays quite well, and can be a lot of fun in co-op. And it was also only like a couple of bucks. Another game I picked up for the PS2 is a game called Kinetica, which is some sort of racing game. A friend of mine, Phoenix923, was actually with me, and he's like, "You should pick this up, it looks interesting." So I did. Again, it was only like $2 or $3. Comes complete with the manual. And it also comes with an additional booklet that's called The Art of Kinetica, and it just has some, you know, rough concept drawings of the characters. It's some kind of strange racing game. It reminds me a little bit of, I think it was Extreme G3, where they're all on like motorcycles. It's kind of like that, except this is more people in powered racing suits or something. It's alright. I played a bit of it. Controls are a bit floaty, but you get used to them. But for what I paid for them, it's, you know, it's quite fun. So, happy to have that game as well. The next game, I'll move on to a game I picked up for my Xbox 360. The game being Earth Defense Force Insect Armageddon. I keep wanting to call it Earth Defense Force 2017 Insect Armageddon. Sequel to one of the, I think, better games on the Xbox 360, Earth Defense Force 2017. Basically a co-op shooter where you run around a city and shoot giant ants and spiders and robots and aliens and spaceships and tarantulas and whatever you want. It's absolutely insane, and there's tons of weapons, tons of power-ups, tons of characters. The sequel attempts to do a little bit of a different thing with it. You still fight all the ridiculous monsters you normally would, except now you're a member of a special strike force, so there are specific classes that you can start the mission as. There's like a sniper, an assault guy, a shock trooper, a medic, and so on and so forth. And it's all right. It's not as good as the first one, but it is still a very, very entertaining title, and it's a budget price game at $40. So I had to pick this up. One thing that I want to point out about this that surprised me was when you open it up. I'm going to go ahead and flip that over because I don't want the code to go away, but there is no manual in here. Now, I actually went online to check to see if or why that was. I bought this at Best Buy, so it was sealed in one of those hard plastic security cases that you have to go get removed, and so I knew for a fact that this that the lack of a manual wasn't somebody taking it out of the case. And sure enough, it does not come with a manual, which is a real shame. You can still download it off their website, but it is a really big disappointment to see that, because I am a very big proponent of having a manual, and I use manuals frequently in games, especially when I haven't played one for months and I come back to it and, you know, I don't remember what button does what or what exactly I'm doing. Manuals are indispensable to me. I even kept them back on the Super Nintendo just because of how useful they were. So to see this game not have a manual is a little bit disappointing, especially when you get into the game. They don't really explain a lot, and you know, there's all these different classes, and you have to sit there and go, okay, this class does this, and this class does that, and you got to sit and read for, you know, 20 minutes. It's annoying, but still, you know, good game for the price. For my DS, I picked up 2 games. One, I picked up a used copy of Elite Beat Agents. This was like $3 or $4. This was insanely cheap, and highly recommended by my friend Phoenix923, who said it's fantastic, and he plays it all the time, and he knows how to, he basically destroyed this game. And he's not kidding. This is a pretty good music game. If you guys like Guitar Hero or any kind of rhythm-based game, Parappa the Rapper comes to mind, or On Jammer Lammy, this is also quite good. And being on the DS, it's, you know, it's a quality title that Nintendo put out, surprisingly. So highly recommend that, especially for $4. A game I picked up just yesterday at a local Toys R Us. I found a copy of Super Princess Peach, which is a game that I have wanted since it came out. It was released and then just kind of disappeared off shelves, and I never saw it again. But this is a game that I have wanted for a while, and I was very happy to find this for $35. A bit much, but considering that used copies at GameStop were going for $45 and above, I wasn't going to question the price. 2 more things I picked up, and these are game related, but they're not exactly games. One is I picked up at Toys R Us an action figure of Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, there's a reason I picked this one up. This is to celebrate Sonic the Hedgehog turning 20 years old. And as you can see, the design is more of the classic retro Sonic from the original Genesis games rather than the new modern day Sonic. That he's a little bit, this one's a little shorter, a little bit rounder, and a lot, I think he looks a lot better than the modern day one, but not that I don't like the modern day design, just that I prefer my Sonic to be classic Genesis. So, and that's kind of a cool little picture on the back. I haven't quite decided if I'm going to take this out of the packaging yet or not, but it is, I had to have it when I saw it. Sonic the Hedgehog being my favorite game character of all time, it was something I had to pick up. The last 2 items I have here, a couple of weeks ago my family got together to celebrate various birthdays, and my grandma told me that her neighbor was throwing out what she called a something computer, and she thought I might like it, so she went and dug it out of the garbage and brought it over. And not knowing what it was, I was surprised when I saw that it was in fact a Dreamcast. This will be, I think, the 5th or 6th Dreamcast I own. It's a little banged up, a little worse for the wear, but it does work. It came with a controller, no hookups, no power cable or audio-video cable, but the system itself works beautifully, so very, very happy to have that. And in the disc tray was actually a copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2, which I put in just a dummy case for the time being. But you know, for somebody to throw this away, and the controller that it came with was also in fantastic shape. So for somebody to throw this away really surprised me. Because, like I said, it works fine, and there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm surprised they didn't just give it to Goodwill or something if they honestly didn't want it. But the last item I have, and to end this video, is something that I'm really amazed that I even have. I'll just show it to you. It is a copy of F-Zero GX for the GameCube. This is a game that I have wanted for well over a couple of years now, and the insert, this paper insert, is actually printed off from a website because the game didn't come with it, but it did come in the original case with the manual, so that's something. The thing that blows my mind about this game is on the 21st of August, it was my birthday, and a couple of days prior I had called a bunch of my friends who were going to get together and go see a movie and just going to hang out as kind of like my friend birthday that we always have before my family birthday. And my friend Phoenix 923, this was his game, and he handed it to me and he said, "Happy birthday, you can have it." And I know how hard this game is to find, and I know how valuable this game is, and for him to give me his personal copy was really something. And you know, I'm just amazed at just his generosity and how nice it was for him to do that, because I honestly was not expecting any present from him at all, and to get this was just amazing. So this is definitely something that I will cherish for as long as I have, you know, a working system to play on. This is something that I will cherish for the rest of my life. So that is all the games for this collection update. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.